You guys know what happened to the Completionist? I've been following that for a little while. Do you guys know what happened to him? There's an update from Karl Jobst. To give you the TLDR, is that the Completionist was a YouTuber who used to do a lot of gameplay content on a channel called The Completionist. And the point of his videos, his whole shtick was a gaming channel where all he did was completing games. And then he like branched off and did other types of content, but with this clout that he gained, he started to do some fundraisers. One of them was called Indieland, and his family also had like a golf tournament that was also supposed to be for charity. So these fundraisers that he would hold were meant to be for charity. Now, there's no problems with that, okay? That's fine. But the issue was that it came out, it came to light that apparently him and his family were holding all of the funds that they've gathered from all of the donations for years and years and years, okay? After he got like caught, a massive exposé got released on him, and when that happened, he started to like clap back, and none of the things that he said really disproved the fact that it seemed like he was pocketing the money. It just seemed like he was pocketing the money and not giving it to charity. He made up a bunch of excuses, and now he's in like big legal trouble. God, Gareth, listen, I know I can just play the video. You know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hello, you absolute legends. Can you believe it? It's already been more than a year since the Completionist and his family's decade-long charity scam was exposed last November. For those who need a quick refresher, between the years of 2014 and 2023, Gerard and his charity, the Open Hand Foundation—
Open Hand Foundation, that's the foundation that I forgot about. So that foundation was doing like the whole fundraising stuff.
took in around $1 million of donations, money that they said was going to various charities focusing on dementia research. But over that entire time, the truth was that they hadn't donated a single penny and had kept everything. It was only after Mudahar and myself made our videos about the situation that the Open Hand Foundation finally donated some of the money, donating $600,000 to the AFTD.
Oh, and something that should be mentioned is that the Completionist, he would often use the death of a family member of his to like kind of sympathy bait people for this, for his like charity stuff, right? So not only was he like pocketing all the money and keeping it all for himself, he was also like sympathy baiting with a dead family member of his, which pocketing money intended for charity is already like bad enough, but like how desperate must you be for money to, oh my god, his own mother, like to use your own mother as an excuse to make you to sympathy bait people. It's a whole level of like, wow.
The Completionist public image was pretty much destroyed, and deservedly so.
Yep.
He had been lying for years, and after he was exposed, he took no accountability whatsoever. He made up excuses, made up lies, and more than anything was just angry at us for making the public aware of what he was doing. And it didn't take long for the Completionist to return to YouTube and continue making content. After his terrible response video, he just moved on and acted as if this entire charity scandal never happened. And his family moved on and didn't care whatsoever either. They even held another golf charity event several months later. This was immediately after it was already proven that for years the golf charity money had never even made it to the Open Hand Foundation. The family—
So again, not only, so this guy, Gerard, went ahead, the Completionist, not only did he, he learned from the best. He learned from his own papa, it seems, It seems like he learned from the best. No wonder he started to do a charity and steal money that way, because his father was already doing it. He had the framework from his own dad. Okay, so like this guy is a piece of work, okay?
Family was keeping everything. But then, around 4 months ago, the Completionist disappeared. And there might be a good reason for this. The Completionist production company, That One Video Entertainment LLC, is in huge trouble. I've never spoken about this, but for the past 2 years, the Completionist company has been engaged in a frivolous lawsuit against the biggest GTA Online roleplay server, NoPixel, basically trying to extort them for half of their company. And in October, they lost. And now Gerard Gerard's company may have to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees. And the cherry on top of all of this is that it appears as though the Open Hand Foundation might now be under investigation by the IRS. A lot's been happening, and in today's
JonTron stays winning, dude. I know, right? Even his fight against Destiny, right? JonTron won that in the end. JonTron, all those years later, he ended up being right. And Destiny ended up being, well, you know, Destiny. But does anybody know, like, why? I forgot the exact reason why he went after, you know, NoPixel. Also Game Grumps, yeah. Wait, lawsuit update. Now, hold on.
today's video, we will take a quick look. I really hope you enjoy.
Oh, the video is about this lawsuit. Thank you. Yeah, I heard about the lawsuit, but like not the.
Before we start today's video, I want to recognize that I know that I have
I didn't know why the lawsuit happened.
Lost a lot of your trust at home. And I want to spend as much time as it will take to rebuild and re-earn your trust. It's going to take time, but I'm willing to put in the commitment, and I hope you give me a chance.
This is what Gerard
Bowie, that's something he never did. Smile.
said back in January when he returned to YouTube less than 2 months after his charity scam was exposed. I have no idea what he meant when he said that he wanted to re-earn your trust, because after this statement, he continued to pretend that nothing ever happened and he never spoke of it again. For the next 8 months, Gerard would continue to post videos to his channel, hoping to resuscitate his brand. The quality, however, was now greatly diminished because most of his employees either quit or he let them go. And then in August, he released a video about alien isolation, and hasn't been seen since. But while Gerard was pretending that everything was hunky-dory on the surface, behind the scenes, shit was hitting the fan. For the past year, many people, including myself, have been waiting for the Open Hand Foundation to file their 2023 IRS tax forms.
Okay, so real quick, hey, I hope you have fun. This video sounds very serious. Yeah, I mean, this is fun for me because this is like lol cow territory for me. Gerard turned himself into a lol cow for this, so yeah. Very standard YouTuber apology opening. Yep. What's really so like the thing about Gerard that he failed to realize, unlike a lot of other people, the thing about influencers is that in my head there's like two types of influencers, right? There's the influencers that pretend to be these okay, on one side there's like the influencers that don't give a fuck, right? Those are the ones that think of like Logan Paul, right? Or I don't know, KSI, whatever. There are some influencers that don't give a fuck about how people perceive themselves, perceive them rather, and they don't really care whether you think they're a good guy or not or whatever. Like their social value and like their social media value is not based on whether you're a good person or not or whatever. The thing about the Completionist is that he painted himself as this really good, wholesome, down-to-earth guy that was just trying to, you know, help people who are less fortunate than him, right? So unlike somebody like Logan Paul, the social credit for Gerard was completely different. So Logan Paul's social credit is like his value is somewhere else. For Gerard, a big aspect of that was how people perceived him, you know? So much so that he was even featured in video games from indie developers because of how much people liked him, you know? And by the way, and not in big indie projects like Sea of Stars, right? So it's like if you guys haven't heard of this guy, like you need to understand that he was like almost like a Mr. Rogers type character, but for like the gaming community on YouTube. Kind of like a Mr. Rogers, not to that level, but you know, people just saw him as a wholesome, you know, all right guy that just really liked to finish video games.
Personally, I wanted to see if anything changed after they got exposed. Were they suddenly going to start properly declaring their income now that so many eyeballs were focused on their charity? Well, what's interesting is that the Open Hand Foundation hasn't filed their 2023 IRS tax form, despite it being long past the deadline. If you search the charity through the Office of the Attorney General, it says their reporting is incomplete and the IRS form is required.
They're getting investigated.
This hasn't happened in any other year.
They're getting investigated, dude. That is That is the flag. That is like the that's like the bat signal, you know? That is like the like you know the Batman bat signal in the sky with the when they need Batman they aim like a bat shaped, you know, light to the sky. That's the bat signal for the IRS. When somebody doesn't turn in their IRS report for that year, that means they're getting investigated. He's in trouble.
The Open Hand Foundation have always filed their forms on time. So it's very peculiar that at a time where it's more important than ever to be transparent, they aren't reporting. Of course, there are multiple possible reasons why they aren't submitting their forms. The most obvious would be they haven't yet done their 2023 accounting, but it could also mean they are currently being audited by the IRS.
100%.
Personally, I think it's the latter, given how many people—
Of course, dude. There's no shot. You, as a corporation, you don't fuck with the IRS. I'm sorry, there's no shot. Nah, but Jesus Christ. If I had a nickel for every time a fat Mr. Rogers type YouTuber scanned their audience and got exposed for it, I'd have 2 nickels. All brothers had no social credit value. Gerard was basically like a bully before the mask slips. Gareth, when I say social credit, I mean like the Paul brothers have a perceived value. I'm just saying that the value that they have is not being a good guy type character, right? Like their value is like being bombastic, you know, controversial, but like that is a form of social credit, right? For them. That's a value for them. In the case of Gerard, the social credit that he was trying to form was more of this good guy persona style, right? So he can't just do like what somebody like Logan Paul does, where he like just ignores all the controversy because people didn't follow Gerard for his controversial antics. People follow Gerard for the good guy angle that he had, you know? What's funny about their Joker is that even if you steal and rob, long as the IRS gets its cut, they literally don't care. Oh yeah. That was an actual joke in one of the Batman cartoons, right? I think it was.
people reported the charity after the scandal broke. Another piece of evidence to support the fact they are being audited is that it does appear they have already done their 2023 accounting. So there doesn't seem to be any other legitimate reason not to file. We know they've done their 2023 accounting because as part of their 2024 annual charity registration to the Office of the Attorney General, they needed to state their revenue and expenses for the previous year, which they did. And this is where things get very interesting. This form doesn't give us any breakdown like the IRS tax forms would, but it does give us a few basic figures. It says that in 2023, the Open Hand Foundation raised $155,000.
Okay.
This is significant because it's by far the most revenue the organization has ever reported in a single year. The previous highest total was back in 2021 when they raised $136,000, but that was under very different circumstances, so let's compare. In 2021, Gerard's fundraiser Indieland received $113,000 in donations just through Tiltify alone. The charity also received a $25,000 grant from Jamie Lee Curtis's charity, Syzygy. Just these two income sources alone already amount to more than the $136,000 they reported, which means all of the bits, subs, merch sales, and all of the golf charity money simply vanished. Gerard's company or his family just took the rest. And this
is the thing that people found out originally, back when the scandal came out. But this is like, again, huge. If you accidentally make a mistake with the IRS, trust me, you will be very sorry. You know what, Rob? You are right. You would be very sorry if you made a mistake. The real problem here is that they didn't make a mistake. This was completely, dude, this is the funniest part about it all. It's not a mistake. Like, this guy, like, he really thought he could get one over the IRS. He really thought he was him.
This pattern of money vanishing continued from the years 2019 all the way through to 2022, a total of 4 years, and the money that went missing probably totaled several $100,000. But in 2023, after the public realized Gerard's family was stealing money, suddenly everything changed. In 2023, Indieland only raised $64,000 in donations through Tiltify. This is $50,000 less than in 2021, and yet magically, 2023 was the Open Hand Foundation's best year ever, raising $20,000 more than they did in 2021. It is a miracle. By the grace of God, the Khalil family has finally learned how to properly report their income. It's amazing.
They are actually just taking money that they hadn't given before and they're just now reporting it. Dude, it's oh god, it's actually so. You know what shocks me? What shocks me is that you know for a fact if Gerard is doing this, you know his dad has been doing the same thing for years. You know this to be true. The only reason that entire family got caught was literally because of Gerard's mess up. I really truly believe that they wouldn't have gotten caught. They wouldn't have gotten caught if Gerard wasn't like a internet, e-celeb that was doing like these really highly publicized, charity events. And that is a scary thought, honestly. The IRS is really like the IRS is good at finding this type of stuff out, but like some people end up getting away with it. Some people do, and that is a very scary thought.
Amazing. We already knew that Gerard and his company were stealing money before, but this most recent accounting is just the nail in the coffin. It is so brazenly obvious that once they were exposed, they decided it would be unwise to continue skimming off the top. And as a result, despite last year being one of Indieland's worst performing years ever by far, the Open Hand Foundation was more profitable than it's ever been. Another interesting thing about this form is that it shows the Open Hand Foundation is still holding on to $200,000. And this is before their 2024 golf charity event, where they would have collected even more in donations. Why are they still keeping this money? One thing I've come to realize is that while Gerard may have been very concerned with his public image, his family, specifically his brother and father, couldn't care less. This is why—
That's what I mean. If it wasn't because of Gerard's mess up, like the family is gonna keep doing this,
back in May, they continued running their golf charity tournament as if nothing ever happened. If you look at the Open Hands website now, Indieland has been removed as one of the charity events, leaving only the golf tournament. And the golf event was never something that Gerard was a part of organizing. And it's why the Open Hand Foundation now feels comfortable going back to hoarding donations, because the public backlash that was originally directed at Gerard now has nowhere to go. When the Open Hand Foundation made their $600,000 donation after the story initially broke, they still had $200,000 sitting in the bank. And this is only from the reported income. As I said before, I suspect Gerard's family has siphoned hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the charity over the years. But I can't think of a single good reason why they still need to keep $200,000 in the bank, when their expenses average around $10,000 to $15,000 per year. And literally the only purpose of the charity is to be a middleman between Good Samaritans and charities that actually do dementia research. As I said before, the lack of filing to the IRS is a pretty good indication the charity is now under investigation, and I really do hope this is the case. But the IRS isn't the only thing Gerard now has to worry about, because Gerard's company that won Video Entertainment has just lost a huge lawsuit.
That one, dude, Gerard's career is over at this point. I could see a world where he could spin the narrative to be like, okay, you know what, guys, I fucked up. You know what, guys, I fucked up. I made a mistake. It's a numbers issue. My accounting wasn't right. Blah 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 blah. I'm not an accountant, therefore, I'll face any repercussions of what's going on. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. And, just chill out for a while. I could see him coming back from that. Because other influencers have. Even though it's like, again, it doesn't look good, but other influencers have. But he has gone like scorched earth due to this. And caused so many other issues for himself. That doesn't even involve, the IRS. It's God dang. Hey, turn this channel into a front for charity and retire in a few years. Yeah, the charity in question, me and my caffeine addiction. Guys, please consider donating okay? So I can approach at high speeds, my coffee machine and create way more batches of coffee that is healthy for me, okay? Surely you want to keep my caffeine addiction alive and well, right? It's a great charity cause, okay? It's a great cause, okay? Think about it. Me, hyped up on caffeine 24/7? Come on. Come on. It's possible that Gerard put the Sonic Shoe medallion in secret. Okay, it is possible. It is possible, okay? But I also think that the Sonic Shoe medallion, no, honestly, no. I was gonna say that the Sonic Shoe medallion doesn't turn you evil, just turns you stupid. But the reality is, Nick Rekieta put it on. And, his kids ended up with cocaine in their bloodstreams, right? They got tested for blood or they got tested for drugs. And cocaine residue showed up on and that to me is evil. Truly, truly evil. Right? So I was gonna say, right, that, the Sonic Shoe only turns you evil, stupid, not evil, but like, honestly, Nick is an evil person for allowing his kids, who don't know any better, to, have that type of stuff, right? Becky, for Robert, for the $10 you use. Use your coffee machine for legal purposes. For legal purposes, I have to say, he's got duped. And that's actually going straight into my caffeine addiction, and it's not an actual charity donation. I don't want to end up like Gerard. Oh my god, my tummy hurts. Oh my god, you gave me a horrible idea. That's what I have to drop on the throne. I have to drop a $2,000 completely unusable, completely unusable coffee machine that is just there to look pretty. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, our ladies. Oh god, I'm teary. I'm teary from all the laughing, and my tummy hurts. Oh my god. Shell, like a shell company, like my YouTube channel is just like a shell company to hide, like, listen, Shade, you're a few steps late to this joke, okay? Pretty VTubers of oh my god, pretty VTubers of marriageable age desperately need your support. Listen, I may be of marriageable age, okay, but don't get your hopes up, not yet, okay? I'm still, listen. I need to, I'm working on stuff, okay? I just had to make the joke. Okay, I appreciate the joke.
That One Video Entertainment LLC is the company that Gerard created in 2012 that all of his business activities fall under, including all of his YouTube channels and his charity event, Indieland. I will be calling it TOVE for short. On Gerard's LinkedIn page, he states he is the owner, president, and CEO of TOVE. And in April of 2023, Tove sued GTA Online's most well-known role-playing server, NoPixel. NoPixel is owned by Coil Content Creation Proprietary Limited, which was started by a fellow Aussie, Mitchell Clout, otherwise known online as Coil. If you follow The Completionist, but don't follow GTA Online role-playing, you've probably never heard of this lawsuit. And even if you have, you probably have the wrong idea about who is suing who. And that's because the reporting on this lawsuit has been abysmal and full of misinformation. It all started in May 2023, when a user posted the lawsuit to Reddit, claiming that DW was suing NoPixel. DW was a developer that worked for NoPixel for several years, but he and NoPixel's owner Coil had a falling out in December of 2022, and DW ended his relationship with the server. The day after this viral Reddit post, Dexerto signal boosted the story, with the headline, "Former GTA RP NoPixel server dev DW is suing owner Coil for considerable sum." However, this was all completely false. It wasn't DW that was suing NoPixel, it was the completionist company, Tove. It literally says who the parties are on the first page of the lawsuit. I don't understand how everyone got this wrong. Tove's lawsuit asserted that because DW developed some code for the NoPixel servers and DW was an employee of Tove, this meant that Tove owned the code that DW developed, and thus Tove should own half of NoPixel. But this is
What a dummy. Oh my god, is he actually retarded? I can't believe the audacity of this bitch. I can't believe the audacity of this bitch. This guy was working for me when he wrote this code, therefore 50% of this is mine, and you can't have it. I am in shock. Damn, you know who's like the real winner in this? The completionist lawyers. That's how you know. Those are the real winners in this one. YouTube over here building a Batman level Rouge gallery. Wait, what? Rogues gallery? Oh, yeah. YouTube building a Batman level rogue gallery. Yeah, of rogues. Yes. This is some Niggy Sanji shit, dude. It's honestly like the real winners are like the completionist lawyers in this one. They somehow managed to gaslight this guy into arguing a point so stupid and presumably giving them so much money. I don't know in what world he, like, you read this, right? And you think, yeah, that's a good legal argument. That can probably, make people agree with me on court. Yeah, he was my employee, therefore this project that had nothing to do with me is now mine. It's like when the Disney thing happened where somebody died in the park and they tried to argue something along the lines of like, oh, because this person was on the Disney Plus platform, therefore they waived all their rights to sue us. Smile.
This entire lawsuit was a shakedown and an extortion attempt from day one. It was all bullshit. We are talking Billy Mitchell levels of frivolous.
Yep.
Everything about this lawsuit was a lie, and it's going to take a separate and quite lengthy video to cover everything in detail. But if you thought that charity was the only scam that Gerard and his company were pulling, you couldn't be more wrong. Needless to say, this lawsuit never made it to trial. In October, the judge ruled in favor of NoPixel, and
I wonder why it never made it to trial. I wonder why.
now NoPixel is seeking attorney's fees of $233,000, and they are probably going to get it. Unlike most other lawsuits in America, when you sue specifically for copyright infringement, it's actually built right into the statute that you can get attorney's fees if you win. And because Tove's lawsuit was so frivolous, and the judge didn't even see a need to go to trial before ruling in NoPixel's favor, Tove is probably going to have to pay up big time. As soon as the judge makes a ruling on the motion for attorney's fees, I will do a full breakdown of this lawsuit, because it really proves that Gerard's shady behavior surrounding his charity was not an isolated event. Until then, thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Wow, dude. Wow. Listen, I'm not a communist. Okay? I'm a capitalist. Will always be one, okay? Sue me. But sometimes, listen, sometimes I ask myself if maybe sharing a little bit of the wealth that somebody as malicious as he has would be a bad thing. I don't know. They have $200,000 right now, They have $200,000 sitting right now on that bank account that they stole from well-meaning, people who wanted to help others, Let's redistribute that wealth. Fuck this guy, dude. Life isn't fair, man. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. There's people who are working for like, $26,000 a year. And they have like all this money that they have to work like 40 hours a week on a dude. I don't want to say a dead-end job, but like on a job that's like listen, like low-wage jobs are difficult, okay? And then there's this guy playing video games, this fat fuck playing video games for a living. He's stealing millions potentially between him and his family out of well-meaning people who want to give money to a better cause to those less fortunate than them, and getting away with it. Hopefully he doesn't, honestly. Completionist? It's not communism if it's punitive damages or something like that. True. We could call it punitive damages if you want, communist. Don't worry about it. Smile.